In the previous class, we have discussed about the Khilji dynasty, and that dynasty was ruled from 1290 to 1320 Common Era. Yes, and the founder of Khilji dynasty was Jalaluddin Khilji. Yes, and then after Jalaluddin Khilji was killed by Alauddin Khilji, and next Alauddin Khilji he became the Sultan of Delhi. Yes, so Alauddin Khilji is very important Sultan among the Khilji dynasty. Yes, so he thwarted the attacks of Mongolians during his period, and he defeated Rajput kings, Karnadeva II, and Vakela dynasties kings. Yes, and the honor of successful completion of Southern Indian invention goes to the General Malik Kafur. Yes, and he was a very important general of Alauddin Khilji. Yes, and during his time, he invaded Devgiri, Warangal, Dwarasamudra, and Madurai, and became responsible for their destruction. Yes, and also Alauddin Khilji he took administrative reforms. Yes, he implemented various reforms in the administration. Yes, also he abolished religious endowments and inam of lands and subsidies. Also he banned association formation among his sardars. Yes, and there are socialization with general public and marriage among the elite class of people. Yes, and also during his time, the farmers with minor land holdings and also the big landlords had to pay taxes, and he also appointed revenue officials to collect the fixed tax from the farmers. And also military reforms is there, market reforms is very important reforms among the which reforms that has taken by the Alauddin Khilji. Yes, that is he has established a market to sell horses and slaves, and also he established a common people can also access to pulses, cereals, cooking oil, and sugar, salt, and fuel at a fair price. Yes, and also he appointed higher officials named Sahan-e-Mandi to regulate the market system. Yes, so this is all about Khilji dynasty. So let's see Tughlaq dynasty. Yes, so it was started ruling from 1322 1399 Common Era. Yes, so let us see about the Tughlaq dynasty. Yes, Tughlaq dynasty was founded by Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. Yes, so Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq he founded the Tughlaq dynasty, and Ghiyasuddin maintained peace and order in Delhi by implementing liberal administrative policy. Yes, and also he strengthened the border to prevent Mongol invasions. Yes, in the Khilji dynasty and the slave dynasty, they have faced so many invasions from Mongolians. Yes, so in the Ghiyasuddin period, he strengthened his border to prevent Mongolian invasion, and also he built irrigation canals for the benefit of the farmers and lowered the taxes. And he established the postal system consisting of horsemen and runners. Yes, the postal system which consists of horsemen and runners, so they can pass the postage to belongings. Yes, and he built Tughlaqabad fort near Delhi. Yes, so you can see the Tughlaqabad fort which was built by Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, and that is in Delhi. Yes, and he conquered Madurai and Warangal and maintained law and order in Gujarat and Bengal province. Yes, so Madurai and Warangal, and these are the places which was conquered by Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, and he maintained peace in that region. Yes, the other important rulers of this dynasty are Muhammad bin Tughlaq and Firoz Tughlaq. Yes, so after Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, there are prominent sultanates also is there. So they are Muhammad bin Tughlaq and one more is Firoz Tughlaq. So let us see Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Okay, so Muhammad bin Tughlaq, he was a scholar of Persian and Arabic language. Yes, so he was a scholar in both languages. They are Persian and Arabic languages. He was an expert in mathematics subject as well as physics, medicine and Persian poetry, astronomy and other subject. Yes, though he was a man of knowledge, he had a few abnormalities in his personality. Yes, he is very intelligent or he is very clever in all the subject, but he had a few abnormalities in his personalities. Yes, so he was thinking ahead of his time, often centuries ahead. Yes, that is, he is thinking ahead of his time. Yes, often centuries ahead. That is, he is not thinking present situation, just he is thinking about the future. Yes, and but his officials neither had the integrity nor the maturity to implement his plans. Yes, he has so many officials, they don't have integrity and maturity. Whatever the plans which has been implemented by him, yes, they are unable to implement his plans. Yes, that is, they are confused. Yes, so let us see administrative reforms that has been taken by the Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Yes, so first one is revenue reformation. Yes, so first one is revenue. Yes, an official record that had all the details of land of the empire was implemented by him. Yes, so official record that had all the details of land of the empire was implemented by him. That is, they have all records related to the land. Yes, and he established the Department of Agriculture. Yes, for the collecting of revenue, he has established the agriculture department. The uncultivated lands were made cultivable. Yes, the agriculture department is also supporting that type of land that is uncultivated, that lands converted into the cultivable land. Yes, and various schemes were implemented to provide financial assistance to the farmers. Yes, he also implemented so many schemes. They are provide financial assistance to the farmers, like he is giving subsidies. Yes, yes, and financial help to the farmers. But the farmers of the had to pay higher land tax during his time. Yes, though regions, that is the Deccan place regions peoples, they have to pay higher land tax during his time. Yes, next one is shifting of his capital. Yes, so Muhammad bin Tughlaq, he has shifted his capital from Delhi to Devgiri in central India. Yes, you can observe where it is Delhi. Delhi is in North India and Devgiri, that is in Maharashtra. Okay, so he has shifted the capital from Delhi to Devgiri, that is Daulatabad. Yes, and Delhi was on a frontier which was exposed to Mongol inventions. Yes, northwest, that is, the Mongolians used to invention by that route only, and Delhi is very near to northwest India. Yes, and Devgiri would be a safe place and almost free from Mongol raids. Yes, because it is in center part of India. Yes, and Devgiri, it is a very safe place. Yes, and Devgiri was situated at a central place, so the administration of the north and the south could be possible. Yes, hence he transfer his capital from Delhi to Devgiri. Yes, and there are two main reasons behind to this move. Yes, as I told. For first one is to establish the capital city at the center of the vast empire that can be helpful for him because he can control over all his region. Yes, and also to protect the capital city from foreign inventions. Yes, and though the plan was good and proper precautions were not taken to implement this. Yes, this plan is very good, but he didn't take any proper plan, or he didn't make any proper plan. Yes, that's why all his people have suffered. Yes, and as a result, innumerable common people suffered severely. Yes, so as a historian records, they have informed about this transferring capital from Delhi to Devgiri. Yes, so they have mentioned in a book of history, that is one common man and also a common animal. Yes, he didn't live in the Delhi. That is, all the people of Delhi, they have transferred they have migrated from Delhi to Devgiri. Yes, so that's why innumerous people suffered severely. Yes, this is a big mistake. Yes, and next one is experiment of symbolic coins. Yes, the value of the currency was made adjusted to value of gold and silver coin in circulation of his time. That is, he implemented two coins, that is gold and silver coins in the circulation in his time, and he brought gold coin that called dinar. Yes, gold coin that is known as dinar, and the silver coin that is named as adli into circulation. That is, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, he brought two coins into circulation. They are, the gold coin is known as dinar and the silver coin is known as adli. Yes, and coins were aesthetically designed. Yes, the coins were aesthetically designed. Yes, and after few years, the copper and brass coins were also brought into circulation symbolically. Yes, you can observe the coins which are circulated by the Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Yes, and minting coins was not vested with the government alone. Yes, that is the right of minting that is not vested in the government. Yes, that is the common man also mint the coins. Yes, he has also a right minting coins. Families who had traditional rights to mint coins were also there. Yes, there are so many families that they have traditional rights for minting coins, and the coins were minted more than the required number without the permission of sultans. Yes, because the common mans or the families, those who have traditional rights for minting the coins, they started more than coins minting. Yes, and this resulted in chaos. The state treasury became empty due to costly administrative experiments, severe draft, the shifting of the capital city, and the process of relocating the capital back, and other measures. Yes, the state treasury, it became empty due to the costly administrative experiments like shifting of capital city from Delhi to Dawlatabad. Yes, and they have faced so many drafts in that time. Yes, and the process of relocating the capital back. Yes, when he shifted to Dawlatabad, he once again decided to reshifting his capital. That is, he want to reshift to the Delhi. Yes, so these are the reasons for the treasury became empty. Yes, so that's why his treasury became empty. So let us see, next one is Deccan policy. Yes. So Muhammad bin Tughlaq implemented his administration in the areas conquered by him in Deccan. Yes. And he had conquered Warangal, the capital of Kakatiyas, and he also destroyed the Dwar Samudra, the capital of Hoysalas. Yes. So in the Deccan plateau, there is a Dwar Samudra. Yes. So Dwar Samudra, it is the capital of Hoysalas, and the Hoysalas capital is Dwar Samudra. It was destroyed by Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Yes, and also he destroyed Madurai of the South India was conquered, and Jalaluddin Hasan Shah was named as the governor. Yes, next one is Madurai. Yes, that is in South India. It was conquered by Jalaluddin. Yes, and he was named as the governor. Yes. And Muhammad bin Tughlaq was the first Delhi Sultan to establish a vast empire in India. Yes. And Muhammad bin Tughlaq organized a big army. Yes. And there were 27 rebellions in South India during his last 11 years of rule. Yes. So there are 27 rebellions. That is the enemies in the South India during his last 11 years of rule, and these rebellions led to the rise of Vijayanagara and Bahmani kingdom. Yes, so this is all about the administrative reforms of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So let us see later Tughlaqs. Okay, so this is the Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Yes, Firoz Shah Tughlaq, who ascended the throne after Muhammad bin Tughlaq, implemented numerous people-friendly programs. Yes, that is Muhammad bin Tughlaq. He implemented numerous people-friendly programs, and after the Muhammad bin Tughlaq, Firoz Shah Tughlaq, he came to ascend. Yes, and he waived off the Kavi loans for the benefit of his subjects, and also he paid compensation to the victim of Muhammad bin Tughlaq's invention. Yes, and the private mines used to be taxed, and also taxes were collected for providing irrigation facilities. Yes, they are collecting so many taxes, and that taxes amount is being used for irrigation facilities. And also he abolished around 20 different taxes along with these two. Yes, so also he abolished 20 different taxes, and also he built many cities, mosques, madrasas, dams, and irrigation canals. Yes, and Jaunpur, Fatehabad, Hisar, Firozpur, Firozabad were the few important cities built by Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Yes, among them Jaunpur, it was a famous learning center. Yes, and also dharmashalas were built for the benefit of travelers. Yes, there are so many travelers in that time, and the dharmashalas, it is very useful to that travelers. So this is all about Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So there is one video related to Tughlaq dynasties, that is the administrations reforms. Yes, so thank you for watching video. Was the video related to Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Thank you.
Today, we are going to discuss about Muhammad bin Tughlaq, who is known in the Indian history for his experiments. One such experiment was shifting the capital of his empire from Delhi to Devgiri or Daulatabad. In 1327, Muhammad bin Tughlaq passed an order to move his capital from Delhi to Daulatabad in present-day Maharashtra in the Deccan region of India. Muhammad bin Tughlaq said that it would help him to establish control over the fertile land of the Deccan region. As the Deccan was very far from Delhi and he wanted to strengthen his control over the Deccan, he decided to shift his capital to south. It was not always possible to operate army from Delhi for the occupation of southern states. Secondly, as his empire grew more in south, he wanted to create a capital more central to his empire. He chose Daulatabad, which was approximately equidistant from both the northern and southern extremes of his empire. He also felt that it would make him safe from the Mongol invasions, which were mainly aimed at Delhi and regions in North India. Daulatabad appeared to be at a safe distance from the possible Mongol attacks in the future. But Ibn Battuta, on the other hand, gives a completely different reason for this transfer of capital. According to him, Sultan Muhammad bin Tughlaq was disgusted with the life of Delhi because he was getting almost daily many anonymous letters from the people of the city abusing and criticizing him, and therefore he wanted to leave it for good. It is believed that the general public of Delhi was not in favor of shifting the base to Daulatabad. This seems to have annoyed Tughlaq, for he ordered all people of Delhi to proceed to Daulatabad with their belongings. Ibn Battuta cites that the force was applied without any leniency. Ziauddin Barni mentions, without consultation or weighing the pros and cons, he brought ruin on Delhi, which for 170 to 180 years had grown in prosperity and rivaled Baghdad and Cairo. The city, with its sarais and suburbs and villages spread over 4 or 5 leagues, all was destroyed, that is, deserted. Not a cat or a dog was left. Though, probably it was just an exaggeration. In fact, some historians believe that Daulatabad was just a second capital or administrative center, and Delhi remained the first administrative center or capital. Though major arrangements were made for this shifting of capital and migration of people, there was resentment among the people as they did not want to shift from Delhi. This 1500-kilometer journey was arduous. Many people died on the way due to hunger and exhaustion, and the survivors were not able to adjust to the new conditions. And there were many others who felt homesick as they missed their age-old homeland. But Muhammad bin Tughlaq could not keep his decision for long. Fearing that the Sultanate's northern borders were exposed to attacks, in 1335 he decided to shift the capital back to Delhi, allowing the citizens to return to their previous city. Muhammad bin Tughlaq realized the fact that just as he could not control south from Delhi, in the same way he could not control north from Daulatabad. The entire process or experiment was surely not a pleasant experience. It involved a huge financial loss and grave consequences for Delhi. Not only had the imperial city lost many of its people, it had also lost its former prosperity and grandeur. The widespread public resentment against the Sultan also led to revolts and bitterness that rankled the Sultanate for years to come. Though Tughlaq invited many scholars and artists to settle in the city, the impact of this incident had far-reaching consequences. Ibn Battuta, the famous traveller who came to Delhi in 1334 during Tughlaq's reign, wrote in his memoirs that he found certain parts of the city still deserted. Though the attempt to make Devgiri or Daulatabad the capital failed to a large extent, it had a number of long-range benefits. It helped in bringing north and south closer by improving communications. Many people, including religious divines who had gone to Daulatabad, settled down there. They became the means of spreading in the Deccan the cultural, religious and social ideas which the Turks had brought with them to North India. This resulted in a new process of cultural interaction between North and South India. I hope you liked this video. For more such academic videos, do not forget to subscribe this YouTube channel, Constructing Minds.